VGK shuts out the Calgary Flames for a second time this season on home ice 3-0. This time it was Ilya Samsonov between the pipes. Our recap comes your way next on episode number 1000 of Lockdown Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure that you make it your New Year's resolution. You got that? To subscribe to our Lockdown Golden Knights YouTube channel. Welcome to show number 1000, and it's a historic day here for all of us, and that's it. There's no Selly.
3 years on Twitter. 3 years on YouTube as well.
Three years on YouTube now?
Yeah, I just was on there this morning, and it said, happy 3-year anniversary. I said, woo.
Oh, wow. How about that? Yeah, but we don't do the streamers. No confetti. On with the show. The show must go on. On this show today, of course, let's first of all recap the Calgary game, and then later on we'll talk about the San Jose game, and then you see the rundown there on the side of your screen. And Ilya Samsonov, I think, was the story of last night. He records his first shutout as a Vegas Golden Knight and stopping 31 shots on net last night. Let's begin by talking about Samsonov. I think that he set the tone early. He robbed Matt Coronado, and that I just was jotting down notes as I went along, and then that became, I guess, the video highlights on NHL.com and what have you. And he also withstood that very long penalty kill. So let's start talking about Samsonov and his progression in net for VGK.
Yeah, I mean, the December goaltending has been spectacular. Both goalies have done a wonderful job complementing each other, and you have to wonder if there's a little bit of friendly competition. I think there always is between two goaltenders. Yes, it's Hill's net. We know this, but it's going to be really close to 50-50, not just for now, but for now until the end of the regular season. Of course, injuries and play can change that a little bit, but if both goalies are, let's just call it average in their regard, and that's not a knock, I'm just saying if they're playing okay hockey, you're going to see Coach Cassidy trying to save both goaltenders for what's shaping up to possibly be a long playoff run again. How about that, huh?
That's hard to believe, right? And this was the first time that Samsonov had faced the Calgary Flames in 3 years. And the first period, that could have really spelled disaster for VGK. Lazinski with his typical trip. He's been in the box, I think, the last 3 games. And then
I have that on my notes, Tony. I was looking at the game log. I wanted to talk about Lazinski, so that's funny. You had that too.
All right, we could get into that. And then, of course, Howden with the double minor for his hit on Huberdeau, and VGK kills that. And I really did not like the structure of the Flames power play unit whatsoever. I don't know what they were doing. They weren't attacking or anything like that. But talk about Lazinski.
Howden, that was the high stick, I believe, is what that was. We'll talk
about
that.
Is that accidental? Too. No, go ahead. Is that an accidental?
Okay, so let's hit that right now. So I put a post up this morning. Okay. Early, I woke up like at 4 a.m. this morning. Couldn't go to sleep.
I know. Thanks for the early text. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Woke your butt up early. I didn't have audio on. I was working and I was watching the game out of the corner of my eye, and I saw the play, and I knew at the time that there's a rule that basically in the NHL, if it is an incidental high stick on the follow through, then it's not a high stick. So the wording of the rule, let's start right here. High stick, who cares about this part of it? Players must be in control and responsible for their stick. However, a player is permitted accidental contact on an opponent if the act is committed as a normal windup or follow through of a shooting motion. Continues to say a wild swing at a bouncing puck would not be considered a normal windup or follow through. So I think that's where they consider this. One, it's not a shot necessarily. You're in the defensive zone, but it's trying to clear the puck. So I think a player is allowed to quote unquote shoot the puck and possibly clip someone on the follow through. Puck's bouncing around a little bit. I think it was considered wild, but I did not hear the commentary. My immediate reaction was it should have been a penalty, but then when you read, I guess if you put this into a bouncing puck and wild, I guess I can buy into it.
Okay, then Lazinski, you wanted to talk about him as well?
Yeah, I got the same notes you do. So I went to check his game log. He's played 5 games for the VGK this year, been in the box 3 times. And we're talking that weird penalty on John Gibson. Very selfish. Took Gibson out of the game, made that game a lot more difficult on the Golden Knights. And then a high stick and a trip. So you're getting some strange stick infractions. When a player is committing a lot of stick fouls, as Coach Cassidy would say, they're slow on pucks. They're not playing strong enough defense. They're out there almost like water skiing, holding on to the ski as they're trying to keep up with someone in front of them. So Lazinski got plenty of NHL experience, but just not adjusting very well to the NHL game, and he's probably the first. Him and Cole Schwinn, you can argue which way it's going to go. Probably Lazinski first will go down, winning if Nicholas Waugh and Ivan Barbashev, who are both skating right now. So we'll see how long it is for them to return. I'd put both of them in the 1 to 2 week category at this point.
Howden with the goal at 4:01 of the second period, first credited to Alex Pietrangelo. Excellent passing. That's the one thing that I wrote in my notes there because they did really well on the breakout and then that finish. And then the second goal was Olofsson's goal there. And that was a disputed penalty call. Someone had tweeted out, hey, why are the Flames huddling with the officials when there was a timeout after that? I guess that White Cloud had sold a penalty that was not a penalty. State Run, of course, does not show the video because why? It's rigged, still rigged, even on episode number 1000.
Gosh, I saw the okay, it was like a holding the stick or something. I saw. So I had to run upstairs like right when that happened.
No one saw it. No one saw it.
They didn't run a concert on. My kids were putting a concert on upstairs.
They were.
Yeah, Chris has the Cat Siberian Orchestra.
Wait, come again.
Chris has the Cat Siberian Orchestra. Yes.
What is that? Your cats sing?
He has some stuffed animals and stuff, and they all put on a performance for us. And Allie,
they came to life.
Exactly. And Allie has one too. I actually performed with the Cat Siberian Orchestra. I got out my bass guitar and I helped Chris and the Cat Siberian Orchestra do some Trans Siberian Orchestra songs. So
do you have any video?
I do have video of it. Absolutely, I have the whole video.
Are you putting your?
I'll post a piece of it, and it's not on this right now, but I'll post a piece of it. Don't worry.
That's funny. All right, is this an annual tradition or is this something new?
It's been for all of December so far.
All December.
All of December. All right, so back to the game. I didn't see the specific call. I saw the player pretty pissed off when he got called for it at the end of the game. Whatever to that. Olofsson, that shot. So it was pretty cool. It was a knuckle puck. It was a knuckle puck. If you watch the alternate,
it was not a shot pass. That I thought I might have misconstrued that it was a shot pass.
It was not a shot pass. Get out of here. You're full of baloney. No, it was a good windup and just went off the tip of the stick and caught Vladar off guard, who was magnificent, by the way.
Oh my goodness, both goalies
Vladar played as well as Samsonov did in this game. Let's make sure we're clear about that. Samsonov,
they were fun to watch.
Had the better
both
team
goaltenders. Yeah, so absolutely
good goaltending battle, and Howden hitting the score sheet. I mean, it's what a year. I mean, it has the vibes of the 22-23 Cup run with multiple players. And not even as much the 22-23 Cup run, but more of the 17-18 conference and trip to the Stanley Cup final run where all these players are having these career seasons. Howden, Kolesar, Olofsson is having a nice resurgence. He's got 8 goals and 5 power play goals. You see what Stone is doing on the offensive side. And now Jack Eichel, I mean, he's having a year that's significantly better from a statistical perspective. So a lot of good is happening right now. Just a general point I did have about the game, though, and maybe I should hit this a little bit earlier. I felt that the eye test that VGK dominated as far as high danger chances, but per natural stat trick, it was actually only 16-13 for high danger chances for the Golden Knights versus for the Flames. So only 3 better. But this feels like the type of game where the Golden Knights should be thankful they played a team like the Flames, who doesn't have as good of a as easy of a time scoring as some other teams do.
And back to back, tail end,
and back to back. Absolutely, no, that's
Great.
very fair, Tony. Very
bad. It's just bad. It's just bad.
It's fair. But where I'm going with this, the Golden Knights need to finish better in a game like this. Yes, they had a lot of chances. Yes, Vladar played really well, but now, especially as the games are going to get tighter as the season progresses, and of course the Golden Knights now are getting ready for what's hopefully going to be a long playoff run. I mean, it feels like if they don't make the conference finals, it's a wasted year all of a sudden. What a shift in where things were 2 months ago. But you play a tougher team like Edmonton, who's going to finish their chances, or LA, who's going to be even harder to score against. Dallas has been wavering, but they're going to be better come playoff time. Colorado's improving. Winnipeg Jets, we'll see what's there when it matters the most. But point being is, Golden Knights had a lot of high dangers. More of those pucks need to be finished. Otherwise, you lose a game like this against a better team.
Yeah, I'm curious to see a replay of that so-called penalty there, because you don't want that to tarnish a game where you have really good goaltending too.
What are they?
I don't know, but they were pretty fired up. And then I guess during the timeout after that, they were just going all in on Mr. Referee.
So I wanted to holding the stick. I mean, okay, fine. The ref might have blown a call. What about when Olofsson got dumped and slew-footed by Nazem Kadri?
That's what I wanted to talk about.
And high-sticked in the nose, bleeding.
Right.
And Mark Stone spent the entire TV timeout talking to the ref. And you saw the ref trying to defend it. And you see Stone look at the ref and say, look at his WTFing face. That was pretty,
so the best part of that whole interaction between Stone and the official was that the rest of the bench knows that he's the captain. This is what came to mind. So they know that he's the only one that can argue that point. So everyone backs off, and then Stone is the spokesperson for VGK in that situation. So that is good. That shows great leadership to me. But let's go back to Friday's show. And I said that Nazem Kadri had slew-footed Hanifin in the first meeting. Remember?
He's a piece of.
Do you recall this?
Yeah,
why is there no retribution by VGK? Even he does it again.
The retribution is a 3-0 victory, Tony. That's their Golden Knights are trying not to let players like that get under them, and I think that's important. Don't get me wrong. I know we got, I've been using the term cross-check. I wanted to see if I can trigger somebody because you lightheartedly said someone should cross-check William Karlsson. And someone, Tony wants one of our players to get hurt. Oh, my gosh. Doom and gloom.
Everyone went bananas on that. Yeah.
And then I've said cross-check Nazem Kadri 9 times in the last 18 minutes of Locked On VGK airtime, and no one cares. So have it both ways. If you want someone on the Golden Knights to get cross-checked, don't get pissed when I say it the other way. But no, Nazem Kadri, listen, type of player, you take him on your team, fine, whatever. I think he won a cup with the Avalanche too, so he is a cup winner. But love to hate, maybe, I guess you can put him in that type of category. But yeah, someone does need to put a player like that in his place, no doubt.
Yeah, I thought that they would do it last night, especially after that penalty.
Kolosov's a goal scorer now, Tony. It's done. Those days are gone.
And guess what?
Willie Mays Hayes in Major League 2 when he goes from being a leadoff, grinder ball player to he comes into training camp all beefed up, wearing all the gold chains and stuff. He comes in trying to hit 50 home runs like Brady Anderson in 1992 or whatever the heck that was.
Someone sent me down to the Locked On Henderson Silver Knights show yesterday because of my selection. I picked out Calgary. Coming up next, I said if I was picking, my picks would always be against HSK, and I would be 80% this season,
96%,
80. Coming up next, we recap VGK's 6-3 victory on Friday night over the hapless Sharks. We'll talk about that as we return on episode number 1000 here on Locked On Golden Knights. Did Rocket Money help you to find any subscriptions that you found out about that you were paying for twice? That definitely happened to me. I had a few subscriptions I didn't even realize I was paying for, and Rocket Money made it so easy to track them all down. It's like having a personal assistant for all of your finances. Rocket Money is a personal finance app, and it helps you to find and cancel all of your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps lower all of your bills so that you can grow all of your savings. And it brings everything together in one place, whether it's subscriptions, your spending habits, or even the goals that you want to hit this year. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year. And if you use all of those premium features on the app, it can get you there. For me, one of the best features that you could find is the subscription tracker. That's right. It's called the subscription tracker. And if you know anything about me, I will find a subscription. I'll pay for the first month, forget that I have it. And then at the end of the year, I've spent about $700-800. God's honest truth. I've used it to cancel services I wasn't using anymore. I've already saved a ton. Plus, their goals feature, it's been able to automatically set aside money for my future. No more stressing about budgeting each and every month. Again, cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals, and you could do it faster and quicker with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon, rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco, and Mr. Tony is full of baloney. Very, very true. Remember that name game song? It used to be Tony, baloney, banana, fana, phony, something like that. That's what it was. When we were kids, you don't know that song. Jeez Louise. Stop making references like that are way in the past, for golly. So what chapter are you on of that book?
1.
And what does it say? Like, do you have a couple of lines in there that you've highlighted there for me?
I've actually had this book sitting, my kids have had it sitting like in there somewhere. Oh, what I just hit. Okay, good. Nothing happened. I hit the keyboard there. I thought something bad was going to happen.
Yeah, no, it usually happens. Yeah.
No, I know. I thought I was going to lose the whole show right there.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to bring this out in the show for like the last month or something. I keep forgetting. I literally had to send Amanda a text this morning, and she had to knock all 3 cats off of her and put her coffee down to bring it to me.
And we have to point out, Miss Amanda, Employee of the Year.
It was a tight race between her and Mo, our Director of Human Resources. Mo is one of the cats, yeah.
Yeah, kind of figured. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations, Employee of the Month. A colossal meltdown by the Sharks in San Jose on Friday. VGK erases a 3-2 deficit in that game. The third period was unbelievable. It kind of shows you two things. VGK just knows how to turn it on, and the Sharks know when to fall apart at the seams. They scored 4 times, VGK did, in that third period, and trailing by a goal, VGK scores on back-to-back short-handed goals. It's got to be the first time ever in franchise history that they've done that. I can't ever recall a time where they scored 2 shorthanded goals in succession the way they did. So Brady McNabb gets things going. Jack Eichel 23 seconds later. And afterwards, in case we were wondering, Bruce Cassidy has to make it a point. And thank you for listening, Bruce, especially to episode number 1000. Bruce Cassidy makes a point that John Stevens has been working with VGK on special teams and breaking out and sorry, it's hilarious, and getting aggressive on the rush shorthanded. He made it an explicit point to say who the assistant coach is, which he's never done. He hasn't done it in years. But go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Hard to follow that one up. No, I mean, listen, weird game, right? Golden Knights, they seemed, not that they were disinterested. The Sharks are playing well. I mean, granted, it was really the Smith Celebrini line that was the driving force. And I guess a quick moment for Celebrini. That was my first game really watching him closely. And Celebrini is going to be something special.
Special.
I know him and Bedard claims are.
Will Smith as well.
Will Smith as well, yes, there's the chemistry, but Celebrini
fun.
definitely. I mean, Will Smith might be the Draisaitl of that family. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't get the flowers, but gets a lot of points. But Celebrini, biggest thing I noticed about him, he's strong on pucks. He's not a big guy, but he's strong on the puck for a young guy. And then in addition, he's very shifty when he gets, not even like, I'm not talking coming through the neutral zone with a full head of steam. I'm talking when he creates that, 1 to 2 feet of separation between him and another player. Once he gets that space, watch out, because he's going to deke and find a way to get right around you. So going to be just a pleasure to watch him for the next, however long he remains with the Sharks organization in the Pacific. And hopefully it's a long time. It'll be fun to watch. Might be a pain in the butt for the Golden Knights in a few years, but that's okay. That's what makes rivalries special and makes them more fun. As far as the game goes, I mean, once the Golden Knights became very interested in the outcome of the game, they played better. They're playing the Sharks. It's not as exciting playing the Sharks. It's not what it was 5 years ago playing the Sharks. And, the crowd in San Jose isn't as much either, so you don't get as much energy in those games. But the Golden Knights woke up, and when you watch Mark Stone's intermission interview, I put a tweet out and said, Mark Stone's not going to let Vegas lose this game. They're not letting VGK. He's not going to let VGK lose this game. To be fair, I think they were going to score 2 goals in succession on the kill like that, and then a third goal not much long after that. But either way, that's how it went down, and good on the Golden Knights for, again, it was 4 points or bust this weekend. We talked about that on Friday's show. If they didn't get 4 points, it was a failed weekend. They got 4 points. I think, 20 out of 22 possible points or something right now in December. It's gross. I said 16 and thought I was a little heavy.
14. I said 14.
And Chris put the difference at 15, which would have been great months. All of those are great Decembers, but it's not been a long December for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah.
We need some rain. We need some of the Rain King in Vegas. We have no rain. We're doing Counting Crows songs right now, Tony. Rain King, Counting Crows songs.
Okay. Stone. It's all right. Stone +4 in that game. Eichel +4 as well. Not the best outing for Hill. 3 goals on 25 shots. That shot that was squeaked through
It was weird.
Yeah, squeaked through him on the right
off
side.
Off his right pad. It was weird.
Off his right pad was kind of strange. How stinking bad is Alexander Georgiev, though? He is so bad. I mean, 5 of the 6 goals he gave up. There's a guy, boy, talk about a fleece job. Why would you trade Mackenzie Blackwood for a fading Alexander Georgiev? Blackwood secures the bag, too. Like San Jose didn't even realize what they had. They finally get in Colorado. They've got the 2 Wood brothers, right? They have Wedgwood and right now, too. And they give them both. They take a serious approach to goaltending for the first time, I think someone said, since 2014. And they give Mackenzie Blackwood $5.25 million a year times 5. So as soon as that came out, though, Aiden Hill, the price is driving up, right? So what are we saying? $6 million? We knew that he would ask for a lot more. And if he wins this stinking whatever 4 Nations, whatever that is, that catastrophe coming up here, that rigged catastrophe, Asteriskville. If he wins, it's going to be, he'll drive it up another $500K for sure. 6.5.
Georgiev is going to be the new modern day Mr. Jones, another.
Martin Jones. You liked Martin Jones, though.
I love Martin Jones. I love him as much as John Gibson. Those 2 were the gifts that kept on giving to the overs bettors all season long.
Oh my goodness!
So many play. I think we can do a whole segment on Aiden Hill's next contract now. But yeah, I mean, so with Blackwood, there was a lot of stuff that came out about how he had I heard about a good 15-minute run on the NHL Network a couple days ago about that. And talking about like a feel-good story, resurrected his career, played really well for the Sharks. And I remember we talked about that, where his goals against was 1.5 million or something like that, because he was a member of the Sharks, but his save percentage was okay. Like he was in the upper 890s, even floored with 900, I think, at times. Again, for the San Jose Sharks. So now he goes to a good team, and he's like a 930 or something like that with the Avalanche. So maybe this is really good. And as far as the payment and how it's going to shape things, there's 2 goalies watching this pretty closely. One's Aiden Hill and one is Logan Thompson. And, those are the prizes right now, should they both hit free agency. But I still think the Golden Knights, Tony, they propped up Adin Hill big time. And I got a feeling that's going to, hopefully, they're going to get something back in return. I don't think the Golden Knights would have propped up Adin Hill
There's no
as much
turning
as they
back.
did for the Four Nations and blocking Logan Thompson. We talked about that as well. I don't think that would have happened with the Golden Knights like McCrimmon. Okay, bud, you got the Four Nations. You got that. You got it. Now, let's go. Let's get to the bargaining table. And here's 3 times 5. Sign here, bro. And I don't know if that's going. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean,
no, it's not going to happen. No,
happen.
No, it's going to be 5x 6.
It's
plus.
with the Blackwood shift. If Hill or Logan Thompson took less than 6 million AAV, it's going to be for a long term. Like it's going to be like a 6-year term or something like that. They both shifted into the 6 category as a result of Blackwood.
Coming up next, UNLV Hockey springs a big upset that might put this hockey team, the Rebels, on the map, albeit out of an exhibition game. We'll talk about that when we return on Locked On Golden Knights. Back on this New Year's Eve edition, and edition number 1000 of Locked On Golden Knights. I've been sent down. Hopefully they'll recall me. I've locked on Henderson Silver Knights. I don't want to go to Locked On Tahoe, whatever the Night Monsters, or whatever they're called. We appreciate everyone tuning in, of course, as always, especially our everydayers. Thank you all so much. Of course, make sure on Fridays it's WTF. It'll be WTF Utah guy. That's me on Friday. So we're going to have to do the show and rip it out there. I'll be up in Utah picking up the Thrills mascot. Because why? Because I'm a gamer. That's all I could say is I'm a gamer. The Vegas Thrill, by the way, Saturday, little plug here, plugola. We've got the open house coming up there. That's at Lee's Family Forum, and it's a lot of fun for the entire family. So come on out. The times, of course, will be this Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. We introduce the team. The entire team will be on the concourse signing autographs, and it's a fun affair. We did it last year, and a ton of you folks showed up. So, and the first match will be on January the 10th, 7 o'clock. Mark your calendars now.
It's coming fast.
Yeah, and you went out last year and had a good time. It's a lot.
We went to 2 or 3 last year. They're great.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
You're coming out. You better come back this year. That's all I can say. I think, yeah, you guys enjoyed it, right? Some publications called it an upset of epic proportions. UNLV Hockey, which plays in the ACHA Division I, equivalent of club hockey, right? Defeated the University of Denver, the defending NCAA national champions. This is a powerhouse team. It's number 5 ranked in, of course, an NC2A hockey. And the UNLV Rebels defeated Denver 6-5. They did it well. Okay, so get this. There are 11, no less than 11 NHL draft picks already on this Denver squad. Okay, so this is why it's big, and I know there's a lot of hype around it, but congratulations to UNLV Hockey. The head coach, David Curl, and a defenseman by the name of Ziev Buim, they both are with the juniors. They're both out on, with the juniors, so of course there's an asterisk somewhere to be found there. In any event, congratulations to UNLV Rebel Hockey. You have arrived. They came back and they lost to Colorado College. Of course, it was probably a guilty game after they beat Denver the other night. But,
they had a game afterwards?
Yeah,
they
played.
I didn't know
they played
that.
yesterday again, but yeah, little fanfare, very few tweets. Congratulations, Nick Raboni. Of course, that entire squad. I say Raboni because he's a good friend of the program.
Yeah, if he's a friend of the program. We had a great interview with him a couple of years ago as well.
Yeah.
7-6, but whatever, who cares? They beat a big team. The UNLV did.
So
with that game, like you said, I think they were without their head coach, Denver, and a couple players were playing in the juniors. But I knew that, and you set the stage right there as far as the draft picks. But just on a quick Google search, the University of Denver hockey program had 5 players chosen at the draft at the Sphere in 2024. It's the third time in the last 4 years that DU's had at least 5 players selected and 5 times in school history. yes, fine. They missed their coach. They missed a couple of players, but the JV University of Denver hockey team, if they even do that at that level, should handle any club hockey team. No questions asked. It doesn't matter. And so that's a very strong testament to the efforts that UNLV put in and all the media coverage it got them and put them on the map. Raboni was talking a couple of years ago about the desire for this team to get up into the NCAA Division I level. And this certainly is a step in that direction. I don't know how it works. I'm sure there's a lot of money involved, number one.
A lot of money, a ton of money for a hockey program to go from the club level on up to Division I. Also, another factor, and they need to get moving on this sometime soon here, hopefully. Another factor would be they would have to equal things out there by adding a woman's sport too. That's the way it works with Title IX and all that.
I had no idea.
But you know what? Let's get it going, man. There's got to be someone in the hockey world. Bill Foley, is he waiting for the city of Henderson to pay for this? North Las Vegas? I don't know. Ooh, that was a burn.
I mean, honestly, taking the jokes out of that, that would be an amazing investment to the future of Southern Nevada hockey for Foley or anybody to get involved. Foley, of course, is going to be the main go-to for this because, well, the Vegas Golden Knights and Henderson Silver Knights, but it would be an incredible investment to the future of the team. Put up a couple sheets of ice right at UNLV. Of course, the Golden Knights can monetize that with more leagues and stuff like that, although it would increase their monopoly. That drives me nuts about what the stranglehold they have on the Valley, but another show for another time. But what a full circle moment if Bill Foley did lead the charge financially, built the rink, built a couple sheets of ice right at the UNLV campus, or maybe not the campus, somewhere else, but where UNLV could call home and develop the men's and women's side of it. I mean, you got the Professional Women's Hockey League as well. They're looking to expand into the West Coast and everything. And I mean, what a full circle moment. He's got the ECHL up there, over there, up north in Reno,
south
Tahoe
of here,
already.
Tahoe's south of Las Vegas, according to Cassidy.
That would be really the last piece of the puzzle, I guess, to be full circle for hockey in Southern Nevada.
Okay. Another note, we need to pass along congratulatory note at that. Deryk Engelland, of the former, now retired VGK player, announced at the game at the Las Vegas Bowl, they bring out all the players. It's tradition. All the folks, rather, that are going into the Southern Nevada Sports Hall of Fame. And Deryk Engelland, I was a little bit surprised to see him out there. And I'm sure you want to talk about his contributions locally to the hockey world.
Yeah, so we had a conversation about this, and I think this is going to be a regurgitation of the tweet not the tweet, but the message I sent to Tony. We were talking about Deryk Engelland and, why is he in the Southern Nevada Sports Hall of Fame? And number one, yes, he's a Vegas native. He had a great full circle NHL career, starting with the Wranglers and everything, working his way up with the Cal insert pause Gary Flames and Pittsburgh Penguins and however many organizations. Then he comes back to lead the charge for the Vegas Golden Knights, being born basically out of dust. And I think what's important to recognize for Deryk Engelland, yes, on the ice, he was a good contributor. Yes, he had an absolutely passionate and perfect speech to kick off the season after everything that happened during 1 October. Those are what he's going to be remembered for from, a visual side. But what doesn't get talked about enough, I think, is the contributions that Deryk and his wife had when new players were coming to Vegas. How many people, especially young hockey players, know anything about Vegas outside of the Strip, outside of from Mandalay Bay to the Stratosphere in downtown Fremont Street? The answer is really nobody. Very few people, as far as the hockey world, even know LVIC existed. Fiesta Pepsi had a hockey rink. They don't know anything about that. Deryk and his wife were big on helping new players relocate, helping them find the right areas of Summerlin to live in, and just helping them get acclimated to a community that really no one knew a darn thing about. So whether that's the reason he got in the Hall of Fame or not, probably not. But I think that's equally as important as everything he did on the ice. And of course, his visual, if you will, during that first inaugural game.
And he also has Engo's Heroes, of course, that charitable organization that he started. And you see him at rinks too, with a lot of.
Oh gosh, I see him all the time in Henderson. He's he's led many practices for my kid. I mean, it's part of his duties with the VGK. It's amazing.
Okay.
I mean, you get a recent ex-NHLer out there shaping the future of Southern Nevada hockey. It's amazing to watch. It really is. And it's spine tingling when you see him out there, because an NHL player is out here teaching 10-year-olds how to play hockey. It's amazing.
It's got to have a great effect. We appreciate everyone tuning in, of course, especially our everydayers. Those folks that is probably already the new year in Singapore. I'm not quite sure there, but we appreciate everyone tuning in. Auld Lang Syne to all of our friends out there and everywhere around the globe. Of course, on Fridays, we've got WTF. Saturdays, sometimes, please fire up a show. It's the Chris and Chris Jr. show. When you're not doing the Cat Siberian Orchestra.
We're going to the game tomorrow. So maybe we can fire one up for New Year's Day or something like that before we go to Game of Thrones.
Okay, so what's our schedule this week?
I don't know.
We're off on New Year's Day, right? I'm going to Utah the following day, 2 days up there. I'll do the show.
Game on New Year's Eve, Tony. I don't know.
Okay. Who knows? Game time decision.
I can go solo. We can take Condos from the bench. We can figure out your schedule. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. Condos. Hey, thank you so much, Condos. This past year, you bailed us out. Show number 1,000 in the books. It's in the books for my man, Chris Golick. I know exactly. We get a raise, man. No, what do we get for 1,000 shows? Like, we've got to get like maybe some Tupperware, maybe something.
More pressure from management to take a closer look at the show. They've been here for 1,000, and this is what they're doing. We got to take
and they haven't progressed at all. For my man Chris Golick, Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow. Please don't drink and drive this holiday weekend, and please take care.